have AMA with the OR network, and here to talk about that is Mark Blinder. So I guess if we could just start with a bit of your background in crypto and on the OR network, which has been going for 4 years.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for having me here today, everyone in Whalecoin Talk community. Really appreciate the invitation. I guess I got started in technology back in 2006. So I've been in the sort of startup world for a long time, doing various tech companies. And, I've been through a lot of the good, the bad, and the ugly of the kind of Silicon Valley tech scene. So I've been part of huge exits and also total failures and learned a lot along the way. And in that journey, I met a guy probably 8 years ago now named Stefan Rover, who was an early encryption pioneer in Web 1.0, doing online encryption software for banks out of Germany. And he was just a huge believer in all things blockchain, smart contracts. He loved the DAO. He, everything about the public blockchains and that kind of power to the people ethos. And so he's the one who first talked me into it. And he's the one who first got me excited about it. And that was, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago now. And we spent a lot of time sort of brainstorming, talking through different ideas for what we could do to help with this transition from the kind of centralized internet to the world of blockchain. And in that time, we met the other co-founders of OR, the OR network, which was Betsabe Martinez and Trey Lewin. And together, about 4 years ago now, we started work on the OR blockchain with this vision of building bridges from the centralized internet to the blockchain, making it easy for businesses to make the move and for people to make the move, right? To make the move from the old way of doing things on the internet to the new way of doing things. And yeah, that's kind of, he got me into it. And for the last 4 years, it's just been further and further down the rabbit hole.
Awesome. So OR is a cross-chain global identity registry. So if we can maybe go through how it works and the OR ID, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, and I can say Betsabe actually usually goes by Botitis. So if anyone's going to look her up, that's off if you're finding her on LinkedIn or whatever. But the registry. Basically, what we're doing with OR is a universal identity registry that works across multiple blockchains. And this is fairly technical, so apologies for kind of the lingo for people who are not engineers. But the idea is that the OR chain does not do dApps, does not do smart contracts. What OR does is it gives you, as an individual person or company, a kind of master account that controls the public keys for you on multiple different blockchains. So maybe it's going to enable you on one day to use a dApp that's on Ethereum. On the next day, maybe you're going to log in and use a dApp that's on Algorand. We support EOS, we do Wax, we do Telos, we're working on Polkadot, we're working on Polygon, BSC. So we want to support dozens or hundreds of blockchains in the long run with one kind of easy login for the user. We have a service called ORID that lets users log in with kind of easy Web 2.0 social login. So you could log in with your Google account and now you have a blockchain wallet, or you could log in with your, Facebook, Twitch, GitHub, Apple, Instagram, all sorts of Facebook, all sorts of different logins, including email and SMS as well. So we have this sort of easy on-ramp called ORID that gives you an account on the OR blockchain. And once you have that account on the OR blockchain, it can interact with dApps on all these different chains, right? So you could, as I said before, you could be using, login with Google and use, one of our customers called Red Fox Labs. They have a game called Cogs Slam. It's an NFT game that's sitting on Wax. So you could log in with your Google account and play Cogs one day, and you're getting a bunch of NFTs playing this game on your mobile phone. And then you could log into, say, Republic another day. That's America's largest crowdfunding platform. They're using ORID for tokenized equity on Algorand. And so you could use the same Google login, and your same ORID is now letting you hold tokenized equity in Republic. So you have this sort of, easy to use, kind of consumer friendly on-ramp to public blockchains.
Awesome. And so the security is done if you're logging in through Google and social media. There's no problem with security with your network. How many sort of Solidity devs do you have working for your network?
Well, so those are two great questions. Let me tackle both, because I don't want to just brush past the security question. So security is super important, and that's part of why it took so long to build all this, right? Our CTO used to do, he was the part of this kind of strategic team at Microsoft and worked on the cloud implementations for Goldman Sachs and Walmart. So really has this like very deep security background and pays a lot of attention to that stuff. And so we put a ton of time and effort into security. And of course, one of the biggest issue are the private keys, right? So it's one thing to have a Google Access token, but what you really don't want is someone to have anyone's private keys. So the way the system is built, we never have the user's private keys. We only keep in an off-chain database, there's an encrypted storage of that user's keys, and the user has the password to decrypt it. And so basically you have this kind of two-factor where the user can prove their identity by using, say, a Google login, and then they can use the password to unencrypt their key to sign a transaction. And when they're doing that decryption, that's all done with the Google confidential computing environment in the cloud. We work very closely with the Google Cloud team, and that uses hardware level encryption on the servers. And so again, it's something where we can't get the keys even when they're being unencrypted in the server temporarily to sign that transaction. So super secure, which isn't always easy. It's hard to build, but very important. So that was kind of the first part of what you were asking. And then what was the second part?
And the amount of devs and Solidity devs you have working on the project.
Yeah, so we've got, you could see the team on or.network. We got 16 people working on it right now. Most of them are devs. It's mostly tech, though we do have some marketing and stuff like that as well. We really do most of our work actually in JavaScript to make it easy for TypeScript and stuff like that, to make it easy for other devs to use our tools, just because it's the most common language. We do a little bit of work in Solidity. That was done by a guy named Bashar, who's a great developer, and working with Trey on that. But we also have devs that work in C++ for when we have to interact with EOS or Wax, and we have devs that work in all these different languages for the different chains we support.
Awesome, yeah. So at the moment it's cross-chain compatible with the ETH blockchain, EOS and Algorand, and then you're going to expand into hundreds of more blockchains, I imagine, in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Wax and Telos are already supported as well.
Awesome. And then you I think it's launching today, liquidity mining, or an ETH pair on the Polygon. How's that going to work?
Yeah, that's right. So when we did our IDO a few weeks ago, ScaleSwap was one of the partners. They built a bridge from Ethereum to Polygon. And so we have OR tokens on Polygon already. We've deployed a liquidity mining pool, so reward pool on Polygon today that's supposed to go live. It's actually the smart contract is deployed, but the UI is not catching it yet. So hopefully that'll be active later today. And right now we already have liquidity mining. Well, Alliance Block has liquidity mining for OR on Ethereum, and we should have Polygon later today. And there's I'll put a link in the chat for people who want to see the who want to check it out and see the Alliance Block DeFi terminal. We do a lot of work through partners. It's part of the beauty of decentralization. So, the OR team didn't build the bridges, right? So the bridge from the OR blockchain to Ethereum, that was done by P Network, who I think are incredibly strong team, very decentralized approach to bridges. And then the bridge from Ethereum to Polygon, that was done with the official Polygon bridge done by the Scale Swap team. So again, like they're able to just go do it. And then Alliance Block is able to deploy these liquidity mining pools on top of that. So it's just really cool to see that decentralization at work, which is, obviously the power of these public chains.
Yeah, and to access the free blockchains that you've got, you just need a single password. So it's simplifying it for people that are new to crypto and just trying to take it more mainstream. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you look at the current state of the internet, there's almost 5 billion people on the internet right now. Either with a mobile phone or a computer. There are about 50 million people roughly on the blockchain, on public blockchains, right? So you're looking at 100x more people not using the blockchain today versus the ones who are using the blockchain. And there are amazing tools out there, whether wallets, DeFi tools, whatever. There's amazing tools for the people that are already on the blockchain, but there's not that many tools for bringing new people to the blockchain, right? The people that aren't so crypto savvy, they're scared of private keys, stuff like that. They want to log in with Google, they want to log in with Facebook. And so we're trying to get that other 99% of the internet that have never touched the blockchain and bring them on board with something that they can kind of be familiar with and comfortable
with. Great, yeah. And you've got an OR vault. Is that locked, unlocked? Timelines of how long you would stake your OR?
Yes, there's sort of two different things there. So the liquidity mining programs, the Alliance Block DeFi liquidity mining, right? So that's not locked at all. There's really good rewards, like the APYs are through the roof right now because it just depends how many people are using it. So if you want to share the link later, I just put it in our private chat. But yeah, that's or.defiterm.io, DEFITERM, or.defiterm.io. And so there's no lockup in that. That's anyone who wants to provide liquidity can get rewards. And those rewards come from the OR Foundation. It's a nonprofit. It exists to distribute OR tokens to the community, right? To give it out to people, to make sure there's wide distribution, decentralization, and adoption of OR, right? So that's what the foundation's doing. We also have a product called OR Vault, and despite which is basically like a multi-sig wallet that's designed to be as easy to use as DocuSign. So OR Vault is a multi-sig wallet that works across different blockchains that's kind of built for companies to make it easier for them to engage with Ethereum, Algorand, et cetera. And so, that's really for corporate treasuries, investment funds, other folks, foundations that are giving away tokens, folks where you need that kind of multi-sig security around crypto assets.
Awesome, yeah. And you're building NFTs for the OR network as well. Will that go cross-chain, and will it be minted or given away to the community? Or?
Yeah, so what we're doing there is the products like OR ID and OR Vault support different NFT standards, right? So right now, like we have one customer for Or Vault called Republic Realm. They're like a fund that invests in NFTs. NFTs in the vault. And we support the like major common standards for that, right? So your OpenSea NFTs that are like ERC 721 or 1155. So like we support those kind of standard NFTs in the products. Or with ORID and Cog Slam, they're doing NFTs on Wax, right? So there's just standard Wax NFTs. We don't have anything to announce today about NFTs we'll be giving away to our own community, but it's something that we've been doing a lot of brainstorming about, and I'm sure we'll have announcements for that down the road. We're always looking for ways to give back to the early supporters and early adopters. But yeah, right now we're focused on the liquidity mining and getting tokens in the hands of the greater public and kind of spreading them out that way.
Awesome. And how does the tokenomics work for the Or network? Buys and sells and taxes and stuff.
Yeah, so I guess the Or token is a classic utility token. So it's designed to be used to create accounts on the Or blockchain, right? So if you want to use the Or registry to create these accounts that are going to work across different chains, the companies in general pay for the users, right? So Cogs buys Or tokens to create accounts for their Cogs Slam game. Republic buys Or tokens and uses Or tokens to create accounts for the Algorand wallets for the node. So that is the sort of standard use, and it's if you want 10 times as many accounts, you need 10 times as many tokens. So it's a very straightforward utility token model. And by the way, the blockchain has been live. The project's been going on for 4 years. The blockchain has been live and run by a decentralized group of block producers for over 2 years now. So it is a true utility token with like true decentralization under the hood. And those block producers, they store all the accounts and they get paid in Or tokens to do all the storage. So it's kind of similar to Filecoin or that type of a model, or even something like Ethereum, right, where you kind of pay for what you're using. And so that's the fundamental kind of token economics underneath the whole system.
And then investors, if they put the Or into the vault, they can make reflections that way as well, an APY.
Well, yeah, we don't do reflections, and the vault really isn't involved. So Alliance Block, and yeah, sorry, I know there's a lot of different products because it's been going on. So I'm sorry, it's just a little confusing. But so Alliance Block has this DeFi terminal for liquidity mining, which they're able to do again because it's smart contracts on the blockchain. So the Alliance Block DeFi terminal gives people rewards in Or tokens for pooling liquidity on Uniswap or QuickSwap. So there's a big APY there, big rewards for the community, and that's kind of what's going on there. Or Vault, totally separate. Companies actually have to hold Or tokens to use the Or Vault, or they have to pay in fiat. So that doesn't give you any tokens. That cost tokens essentially to use.
Right. So if investors wanted to stake on the vault, what's the minimum amount of Or tokens to hold?
So we currently it was I'm trying to remember, I think it was 500,000, but with the price of the Or token having gone up quite a lot, we are working on new pricing to reduce that. So for the funds and stuff, these are kind of high-end buyers that tend to use the vault. So we're going to try and pull that down just because the price of the Or token has gone up so much. At the same time, for those who want to do the liquidity mining, you can do that with any amount of tokens, and ORID you can use for free, just for a single user identity.
Awesome. And with the are all the tokens minted now? Because it's 4 years old, the Ore network. Yeah.
Yeah. There's 1.06 billion tokens maximum. So that's 1,060 million max tokens, and those all exist. They are mostly on the Ore network, which is, but some have been sent through the bridge to Ethereum, and then some have been sent from there to Polygon, and eventually we want the Ore token to be on every chain we support, so that you are able to use the utility use of Ore without having to bridge back to the Ore mainnet. We want every chain that Ore supports to have Ore tokens and Ore utility.
Right. And marketing going forward, I imagine a lot of it's word of mouth as your network grows. But what have you got planned in the future to spread this around crypto, so more people can get involved with your network?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So our first priority is always maximizing the stories of real partners that are building things on Ore. You can probably hear me talking about that a lot, but we like to go out and talk about, okay, here's what Alliance Block is building, here's what Republic is building, here's what Red Fox Labs are building. We don't want people buying this because they think it's gonna, go to the moon or whatever. What we want are people that understand this big vision and that real companies are building real things. And that's what creates the value in the token in the long run. This is a long-term play. It's about real utility, and it's about real companies building. And so much of our marketing is partner marketing, where we'll actually do blog posts, AMAs, things like that in partnership with our partners. Like I've got an AMA with Alliance Block this Thursday. We had an AMA with Republic, and so we're always trying to do that co-marketing. We did AMA with P Network, co-marketing with real partners to show people the real utilization of the Ore chain, because that's the most important thing for the long run, for everyone, for the the individual token holders, for the Ore ID users, for the block producers, for the companies, for everyone. What matters most is real users building real projects on top of Ore.
Awesome. And do you do crypto conferences around the world?
Yeah, we definitely do some. Obviously COVID kind of took that down a little bit, but I've been getting back to a bunch recently, and always happy to go out there. So did Blockchain Expo, Coin Agenda, going to Peer Summit. If anyone gets invited to that, I would highly recommend it. And we're always out and about trying to get to lots of different events.
Awesome. I can open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got a question for Mark or any investors. No? Okay. It happens sometimes. We'll answer a lot of the questions. We can carry on. So yeah, if you want to recap or anything we've missed about the Ore network, I can send it back to you, Mark.
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks everyone. And for those, since we didn't get a ton of questions here, I would just say that there's three things that really differentiate our approach, I think. One is the ease of use. We're really about the ease of use, so we can get those mass market consumers who don't understand blockchain, or they're scared or intimidated. At the same time, we have true decentralization under the hood, because there are some other projects that will let you, say, log in with Google and get an Ethereum wallet, but they're centralized. And so we don't think that's the answer for the long run, even though it's convenient and easy to do in the short run. We are big believers in decentralization and the fundamental ethos of these public blockchains, and we wanted to deliver on that vision. And so that's why we wanted to do true decentralization for the under the hood, so that the people own their own identities in the long run, and they can get rid of or ID someday and use a different ID service that gets built if they wanted to, or just take their own private keys and like leave the whole thing if they wanted to. Most people don't, right? It's much more convenient to log in with Google, but we want to give people that option, right? That's fair, and that's sort of the right way to do things, we believe. And then finally, we have a model where we make it easy. It's really the code works in a way where it's intended for businesses to pay for their users. So one of the big problems we see on the blockchain today is, let's say you want to use, whatever application, maybe you're going to use Republic and you're going to buy the note token on Algorand, you need to go get some algos to pay your gas fees. Now on Algorand, the gas fees are super low. It's amazing, right? It's 1 milli algo. So it's like much less than a penny. But for you to go get, $1 worth of algo tokens is basically just as hard as you getting $10,000 worth of algo tokens, right? For the first time, you have to create a wallet, go to an exchange, buy some tokens, send the tokens from the exchange to the wallet. You probably had to KYC, connect your bank account, all those steps in between. So the way we've architected our system is it makes it really easy for the companies to pay for the users. So we also think this will help spread that mass adoption. So if you invest in the Republic Note token, they pay your algo fees, they pay your gas fees, which is fair. It's great, right? And that's the way the rest of the internet works, right? If you were to go buy Netflix, you don't pay for the hosting charges, you pay your monthly subscription to Netflix. And so that's what most people are used to doing. And we think that'll help make it easier for companies and people to start using blockchain.
Awesome, yeah. It's a bit early for American investors and Canadian investors here. So if they're listening back to the recording and have any questions, we can give you the official Or Network Telegram. You can head over there. We do share the recording across crypto with other communities, so we can get the message out there for the Or Network. It's a very big project, so it's been very nice to have you here today.
Thanks. And one last thing I'll say on or.network, our website, ore.network, there's white papers, developer links, all the open source stuff is there. There's all sorts of info, links to Telegram, links to Twitter. So if you want to learn more, it's all there. We try and be as transparent as possible and as open as possible with the community.
Awesome, yeah. It seems people are coming in later now. But yeah, so yeah, you're welcome to come back and keep us updated.
Thanks. No, I really appreciate being here and would love to come back in a little bit and update everyone on the progress.
Yeah, we always support the AMAs that we've had, and they're welcome to come back and keep our investors updated. I'm sure there's a lot of people that will be investing in the Or Network in our community and across crypto. It's very exciting future it looks for the Or Network. It's been going 4 years, so it's been going a long time, and things can only just get bigger and bigger as you go across more blockchains, I imagine.
Yeah, and we've got some big announcements coming on that front soon. Nothing I can talk about today, but soon.
Cool. We'll have to jump into your Telegram and find out, all about that. That'll be great. Right, if there's no questions,
I have a small one, Glenn, if I may.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw like you have like a bunch of resources for developers and everything. How hard is it to like get involved, or do you have like a testnet or something, or how does that work? Or can you just jump into Telegram for support and start coding, or yeah?
Yeah, so you can start coding. The Icon, the company, will give you, like, I think it's the first 1,000 users for free, so you can start. If you want to code and test it, you can just go in right away. There's also sample apps on GitHub. If you want to just like pull down that repo and deploy, you can do that. So, and of course, we do want to help. So there's actually a separate developer Telegram, but if you jump into our main Telegram, we can send you to the right place. And yeah, absolutely, we want to help developers build on Or as much as possible. And yeah, happy to chat about that in Telegram or Twitter, or whatever's most comfortable for you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I think I found the Telegram for developers on your website. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Great. So yeah, any more questions for Mark? No? Okay. Yeah, so I can finish the record and send a copy over for you, pin that here for our community. I say when America and Canada wake up, I think it's still early over there. They'll listen back to the recording and we'll share it across crypto. So yeah, it's looking for an exciting future for the All Network. Thank you very much for coming today, Mark. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.